Maybe I'm crazy, but this is the year we make defense great again. Last year was running backs. This year's it's defense.
It's exactly the opposite of what Colin said on the show.
I mean, Colin and I have two different brains.
Clearly.
Yes.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not.
Welcome to Maybe I'm Crazy podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. That's Brandon Newman.
Hola.
TJ Houshmanzadeh is going to join us today. We're
Yes.
going to talk about, we talk some football, talk some pigskin.
Yeah, some AFC.
Yes, some AFC. We are going to get into some AFC. A lot of Ohio talk.
Shut up.
My favorite. Yeah. I mean, look, this is what it is. We're going to talk LeBron, Odell, Dak, make defense great again,
Yes.
Hall of Fame weekends.
Yes.
I'm right about some stuff per usual.
Per usual.
Queen Beyonce,
Just
just making things happen for the culture.
being the queen.
Per usual.
Per usual, yeah.
Per usual. And I have a very heated petty report, which I'm probably going to make some enemies with, but...
We've made a lot of friends.
I got to keep it real.
You got to keep it real. We've made a lot of friends in this podcast. I think we need to get that enemy list up. You know what I'm saying? We're doing well enough
to
things.
become more divisive?
Yeah,
Is that
well,
what
it's
it
like
is?
it's
We're
like
not
if you don't
polarizing enough.
Yeah, I heard a long time. If you don't have any haters, you're not doing anything. And I was like, I must
think
not be
it's
doing
if
shit.
you no haters, you ain't popping.
You ain't pop. Yeah, you ain't
If you
popping.
ain't got
Yeah,
no haters, you ain't popping.
I just got some haters.
You got some haters?
Yes, I am.
Your first hater's important for you.
I listen. I'm happy.
Your
I'm
first
happy.
hater, you're like, ugh.
Yes, sir.
Wait, you didn't have haters in high school?
There's one guy who claimed I was a cancer on the team. That's why I don't like saying it, because it kind of touched me. Shouts out KC, wherever he's at. It's probably like an accountant somewhere or something.
Oh.
Shouts out. Or
Why is he an accountant?
he wore glasses.
Oh.
No offense.
No, I'm terrible at accounting. I'm
Right.
I took one accounting class. It did not go well. It's another story for another time. Numbers are not my thing. Anyway, I don't know how we got on accounting yet. No, haters in high school, it's a good place to start. If you don't have haters in high school,
Right.
and I'm not talking about bullies, because everybody has bullies. So that's not like,
Yeah.
don't hit me with the, like, I got bullied in high school, so
Right,
now I'm a
right.
G. Like, no, everybody got bullied.
I got in one fight.
Bullying used to be legit, too.
I just
Like
saw
physical,
Moonlight. That was
physical,
real, that's
actual
real
bullying.
Yeah, like
I know
I'm
bullying is a hot
afraid.
topic right now, but bullying used to be a real thing.
It didn't used to be on the screen. You can turn your phone off. You can turn your computer off. There's sometimes bullying. You are not escaping that person and his friends.
I may have seen someone pee in someone else's locker in high school.
Oh, man. I mean,
I may have seen it.
I may have seen someone get stuffed in a locker and then people peed on said locker.
Yes.
But that's football stuff.
Or we're gonna keep upping each other.
I mean, I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's not a contest, but people messed up. Bullies out here.
Bullies are out here. Well, congrats on your first internet hater.
Thank you so much.
I think you've had a few though.
Yeah, but
Drag
like,
Drag Boy's been around for a while.
Drag Boy was
How
just
many
like,
likes does the Drag Boy comment have?
I thought those were like kind of fun. Now I see a lot of people are just doing it so I can talk to them, so I enjoy that too.
Oh yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are called
yeah,
trolls.
yeah.
Welcome to the internet.
Shouts out trolls.
All right. Well, let's get started with TJ Houshmanzadeh. All right, TJ Houshmanzadeh, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey.
Maybe I'm Crazy Podcast. It's good to have you in.
Yeah, my pleasure.
We're a
Thanks
little
for
loco
having
around here. Yeah. You can relax. We're not that serious. We're not that serious.
we
around
good.
here. We have
Right,
50
we
and
good.
fabulous cups,
Yeah.
from our 50th episode. We're chilling.
Yeah.
So let's start with Dez Bryant, since we have his jersey randomly hanging up inexplicably behind
What
Brandon.
you mean?
Are you surprised Dez Bryant isn't signed?
I am. Yes and no. You know, you want the money you want, and when you can't get the money, you kind of just wait. And now he's probably gonna play for league minimum. So,
But I mean, we're in camps, and no one has signed him.
You don't need camps at this point.
No, but I mean, this is the time when
Yeah,
you're looking
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
receivers. Like you're setting it's getting the season is starting.
yes, yes.
We're in it now.
I'm shocked. But he's waited this long. You might as well try to get to a team.
But do you think it's him making this decision, or you think it's the league? Like there's not an
I
option.
think
for him?
initially it was him, and now I'm sure he's probably a little worried. If it's there, I just go play with the Cleveland Browns. I really do. Josh Gordon will be out. You maybe assume the first couple games. You just don't know when he's going to come back, and when he does come back, he's going to have to get in shape. They got Jarvis Landry. I like Callaway from Florida, but he's going to be a rookie. So I would try to get to Cleveland. They're the only team that's shown any interest.
Well, I don't have a problem with with Cleveland as much this year because Cleveland, although I thought I was going to be able to be done with Cleveland when LeBron left, that seems to not be the case. We still have to talk Cleveland, unfortunately, but they're interesting this year though. Baker Mayfield is a huge storyline. Jarvis Landry there now. Obviously, you mentioned Josh Gordon, like the quarterback battle with Tyrod Taylor. They're on Hard Knocks. Like they have a buzz. So it's not like he's going to NFL Siberia.
They're going to win. They're going to obviously do better than they did last year.
Yes,
all they can do is go up.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm 6. I think they're gonna steal one from them. I like them.
Say what you were gonna say because it's ridiculous. Go ahead and say
They're
it.
gonna steal one from the Steelers this year, and that's gonna be a huge stepping stone for them in this franchise in Baker's first year.
They might.
You don't have to say that just because he's
For some, they played them tough last year.
You know what?
They played them tough last year.
This playing tough thing, all right? It's really fun.
But see what
like
happens?
Knocking on the
no,
door
you know
in
what?
the
Because they
league.
used to do that when LeBron was with the Heat. They used to do that, like with the Bulls. Like, the Bulls play the Heat real tough. They give that pushback, like 5 games, cool pushback.
They play too
bro.
many games in the NBA.
That's every game.
It's you play once a week in the NFL. Will they beat the Steelers? The Steelers are one of the better teams in the league this year.
Steelers gonna win the Super Bowl this
I
year.
said steal.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. If the
Yeah, I
Rams
just
get
said it.
Aaron
I said it.
Donald
That's-
in camp,
But write that
the
down.
Rams
Make a
gonna
little
make a run
markage.
at it.
Anyone who's listening.
Okay, Steelers Super Bowl.
No, I'm going with Steelers Super Bowl this year because this is the last year that they're going to be able to do it.
I feel that. Yeah.
I mean, you know the Steelers very well, and Le'Veon Bell is not going to be there next season because of the situation with the contract. I really feel like this is the last grand opportunity for Roethlisberger to win another Super Bowl in his career. He's constantly talking about retiring. He's not getting any younger. He's not built like Tom Brady. He's taken a ton of hits. That's just the style that he plays. I feel like this year is the year.
They have a good team, real good. They're strong on offense side of the ball. They're strong up front, D line, O line, in the back end. I don't know how their safety
That's
plays.
what I'm saying. There's no dog on defense to set that
They
steel curtain.
they have
like,
Joe Hayden as a corner. They're going to be pretty good, but
they've been pretty good on
the
defense.
thing is, once you see Todd Gurley get his contract, just pay Le'Veon. Just pay him.
I agree with you.
He's young. Just give him his money. Give him it. That's the thing about. That's how you build up animosity. Like, even if they do sign him, he's going to be pissed off the whole time he's with the Steelers. That's how we think as players. It's kind of dumb, but that's how you are. It's like, all right, I'm going to sign this contract, but I'm still pissed off. Like, I don't like you now.
I don't know. I don't.
But
think
I got to
that
act like I do.
I don't know that he's going to be there next year. I don't. Like the way that Le'Veon Bell operates his brands and all of that. I see him being angry at the Steelers, which I think he is. But that's all the more reason why I think he's just going to take the bag somewhere else.
If James Conner plays well, that will kind of give them an excuse to move on.
Right.
But Le'Veon Bell he'll go down as one of the best running backs to ever play football. He's that good.
Once in a generation, I was going to say, but that far?
Yeah, he's that good. Wow. You watched him in college. I watched him. I thought he was good.
Right,
I didn't think he.
I played against him in Michigan
I didn't
State.
think he had that type of wiggle. I didn't think he had this type of agility. Le'Veon Bell is going to go down like Adrian Peterson came in the league and you seen nothing like him.
Right.
What Le'Veon Bell is doing, the way he runs, he's catching the ball like a receiver, but he runs. We've never seen this before.
Well, the catching, his hands actually is what is the one thing that I would agree with you on there, because he's a very patient runner. You know, he'll wait almost like you think that he
crazy.
stopped and then he goes through a hole. But his hands set him apart from. I mean, it's no diss. Like, everyone argues like the top 3 running backs: Ezekiel, Elliott, Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell. To me, like, I would take Le'Veon over them despite his off the field situations or his injury,
and
because
he's bigger than both of them.
Because Ezekiel Elliott has constant issues. Todd Gurley doesn't have any issues. Todd Gurley is great, but Le'Veon Bell's ability to catch the ball just separates him from them. To me.
It's hard to compare, because when you compare, it's almost like you're putting one down when all of them are good.
And you're not.
So that's
You're
the tough part. But if you look at it, Le'Veon Bell hasn't really had one bad year since he's been every year he's played well. Every year he's played well. Todd Gurley had a great rookie year, cooled off his second year, and then played. Le'Veon Bell has played well every year he's been in the league. Like, he's transcending you're going to see guys start trying to run the ball how he does it.
Right.
And they're not going to
It's
be
not
able to
gonna
do
work.
it. They're
It's
not
not
going
gonna
to be
work.
able to do it. I mean, he just has a gift.
Well, you talk about Todd Gurley cooling off his second year. There was a lot of great rookie running backs last year that I'm really looking forward to that sophomore season to see where they're going to end up. Because, you know, running backs, I don't want to say it's up to them how long they stay in the league because, you know, different things with coordinators and all this stuff. But, like, it's not a position where you stay long. Mark Ingram had a resurgence last year out of nowhere, and everybody's talking about the running back position could be alive again for older players like that. So there's a lot like Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey. There's a lot of rookies.
You know who I'm interested in seeing? I want to see how because he was having a great year until he got hurt, is Dalvin Cook.
Yes.
I honestly, had he stayed healthy, Minnesota would have been able to do some damage. I'm eager to see how he comes back from his injury, but the running backs, they were looked at as very replaceable.
Right.
Like you can draft a guy in the 4th round, and he's going to give you the same amount of production as a guy you draft in the 1st round.
Right.
As long as the offensive line, as long as you had those guys up front,
Yeah, last year was
They're gonna get it
make
done.
running backs great again, according to Brandon
Shuts
Newman.
out.
So speaking of coming back off injury, Odell Beckham is in some sort of contract situation with the Giants. I'm an Odell fan. I think Odell is important to the NFL because I'm a superstar person. Like I believe that you should just elevate your superstars as much as you can in the way that the NBA does. Because last year we saw injuries that were unprecedented. Like there was every superstar was hurt. J.J. Watt, Odell, Aaron Rodgers. You got Carson Wentz out, Deshaun Watson. Like it was crazy. It was like it was a spell
Week after
or something,
week.
yeah, or a curse, maybe.
Curse,
Anyway,
yeah.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
The point is, Odell's back. What do you think of Odell being the highest paid wide receiver? I don't have a problem with people getting paid. Like I don't care if they get paid. I don't make any less money if they get paid. So I don't care if someone gets paid.
for the life of me, I don't know why he's not the highest paid receiver. He should be. Number one, this is how it works. If I sign a deal 2 years ago, whether I'm better than you or not, if we're comparable,
Right.
I expect to be passed up.
Right. That's how contracts work.
He should pass up Antonio Brown because Antonio Brown signed his contract last year.
Right.
And number one, he's 25, 26 years old. He's young. Give him his money. He's going to play at least 7, 8 years of great football.
But he's coming off injury.
But it was a catastrophic injury. It wasn't like he's
you
like
can't
injury
control
prone
that.
or something.
No,
yeah.
of course.
You
but,
can't
like,
control the injury. And all that has done is made him more aware of,
Right.
I need to get this money.
Right. But what do you make of all his off the field stuff?
He's
Like, is that something if you're the Giants, you should be
He's the
worried
rare
about?
football player that is not a quarterback, that wherever he goes, number one, he's recognizable because of his hair.
Right.
Right.
Everybody, doesn't matter if you watch sports or not, you know who he is. Others, football, basketball, normally it's just the quarterback position. This is he's going into his 5th year. That normally doesn't happen to somebody this fast, this quickly. And so it's
on a
good.
losing team.
But he's playing in New York. Win, lose, or draw, when you're playing New York in that market, it doesn't matter. And the way he played, he came out the gate with 3 years of boom, boom, boom. He hit them 3 great years.
Yeah.
And so when you have what you said, a superstar at the receiver position, just pay him. Because people are going to come watch him play.
Right.
They're going to buy his jerseys. It's good for the NFL. He's not getting in trouble. He's not breaking the law.
Right.
He may do things you don't agree with, but he's not breaking the law. He's good for the league, in my opinion.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with what he does. Now, I kind of am speaking out of both sides of my mouth here because I prefer a championship culture. But
When you're young, you're in New York, you're going to have fun.
That's fine. I have no problem with that. But I think that we live in a different environment now where like the Patriots way and the Spurs way and this old school mentality of everybody fall in line doesn't work anymore. So
No.
I don't think that you're going to see consistent dynasties anymore because of that. It's hard. When you have these big personalities that have their own brands and they want to be the superstar, which I fully support. It's harder to put together a team environment. Like that's part of the reason why I think they got rid of Dez. Dez is a superstar. Even when he's not playing his best, he's a star. And
What
the
happened with
Cowboys
Dez
got rid of him.
is I wish I had, for some reason, we as receivers, you're outspoken, you want to talk. the problem with Dez was they started talking about his personality more than his production.
Right.
And so once that happens, that's kind of the beginning of the end. Like Odell is still young enough to where even if they're talking about his personality more than his production, he's still in his mid-20s. Right. So they'll kind of put up with it.
There's always a level once, the shenanigans passes the production level that they're not going to deal with it anymore.
Yes.
As a top 3 wide receiver, when's the last time a top 3 wide receiver won a Super Bowl? Like the culture on the teams feels like when those type of personalities are on the team. I played college football with a Golden Tate. You know how out there he is. When you have strong personalities on team, the whole team just kind of just fit whatever narrative that is. And it doesn't make for championship winning football.
You know what, though? It's
interesting football.
Every team, take out the Patriots because Bill Belichick, he just has people scared.
Right.
Every team is going to have this. You go to every team.
Yeah.
Every team.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown with the Steelers. AJ Green with the Bengals. He doesn't act like that publicly, but you don't know how guys are. They
catering to him.
1,000% they are.
Yeah.
Every team has 3 to 5 players that you cater to. Every team. And because Odell is in New York, it's magnified. It's magnified. And he's done things that guys haven't done since they come into the league.
So, speaking of outspoken wide receivers and not winning Super Bowls and things like that, this weekend was the Hall of Fame. Obviously, what?
The segue.
I have to segue appropriately.
Where's
Where's the lie? Anyway, so T.O. obviously did not go to the Hall of Fame ceremonies, which, whatever. He's a grown man. He can do whatever he wants. I personally feel like he'll end up regretting it. One, because I really felt sorry about the starburst or whatever it was on the tape. What did he have? Gummy bears and something on the table? Yeah, the display was... Anyway, the point is, did you have a problem with how Hall of Fame handled it and how T.O. handled it?
I didn't have a problem with it. I agree with you. I think he's going to regret it. I mean, it's inevitable. That's human nature. I see where he is coming from. It was kind of spiteful, but the Hall of Fame didn't vote you in the first 2. It was the writers.
Right.
And so I wish he would have gone because he's going to regret it just to be in that environment with those guys. And you kind of forget about how mad you are because you're telling stories and you're talking to the different guys that you've played with and against. But it's the Hall of Fame. I don't think they handled it the right way either. You know, it was tit for tat. It was like, he does this, I'm going to do that.
That was petty wars for sure.
Yeah. And so now they want you. You're going to have to sign this paper.
I, honestly, if they do that, what he's talking about is that there's a report that the Hall of Fame is considering a rule that you have to commit to coming to the enshrinement ceremony before the voting goes through. If I sign it
and decide not to go, what are they going to do?
Yeah, are you not a Hall of Famer now? It's nonsense. Like, it's nonsense. It's ridiculous. It's a bunch of angry people in a room who feel slighted, who have come up with this T.O. rule that really only validates what T.O. did, because his argument is that it really wasn't about numbers. It really wasn't about accomplishments that kept him out. It was about people being petty. To me, the solution is, right now, all of the voters are media. And as much as we in the media love ourselves and what we do, I don't think that all the voters should be media. It should be half media, and the other half should be current Hall of Famers. And it should change every single year. It shouldn't be the same people every single year. That's how this stuff happens. People get these vendettas, and then they're in the same position all the time, and there's no change. Have some diversity.
I wish he would have gone.
The fact that there's no actual Hall of Famers voting on who gets in the Hall of Fame is crazy to me.
It makes no sense.
But a lot of it too, if it would have to be a good percent, because you'll get Hall of Famers that want to get their friends in that they play with or got. So I mean, it would have to be. I don't know how they would do it, but it would have to be to where.
But the writers are cool with people too. Like, the writers have relationships with guys.
And that's why he wasn't the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right, but the thing that bothers me about what T.O. did. The only thing that bothers me about it is I feel like what he did in a weird way slights anyone who didn't get in on the first ballot. Like, just because you didn't get in on the first ballot does not mean you are not a Hall of Famer. You're any less of a Hall of Famer. Yeah. It's silly. Like, you're in the Hall of Fame. No one's ever going to be like, T.O. voted in on third ballot Hall of Famer. Nobody says that.
So do you think now, because he did what he did, anybody that deserves to be in on the first ballot, they're getting in on the first ballot from here on out.
For sure. I
They
mean,
they want to avoid this.
I don't know. I don't think there will be a lot more
TO's an outlier.
TOs anyway.
Yeah.
Like
No,
TOs
this
are
will
very
never happen again.
specific individual and personality.
But somebody will think about it that they feel that they've been slighted. It'll cross their mind now. Should I pull a TO?
Well, sticking with Ohio, I very much feel like Baker Mayfield should be starting because he's the number 1 overall pick in the draft, and that's what that draft position's supposed to do. Start
Usually,
day
yes.
1. And Colin very much disagrees with me. A lot of people disagree with me. I just feel like Hugh Jackson wants to win some games, which I respect, but I just don't appreciate being lied to my face. So
I disagree with you as well. So this is what happens, okay?
Disagree with you.
he's going to start a game this season.
I actually experienced the number 1 pick, and he sat the whole year. So Carson was drafted number 1, and John Kitna started the entire year. I believe it prepares a quarterback for long-term success if they can sit that first year.
Amen.
If they can sit that first year, it prepares them for long-term success. It's tough to come into the NFL as, you were the first pick and you're expected to play, but the NFL is a different animal. And if he does not have success, it sets their team back because mentally he'll never recover from this. He'll never recover. Now, if they're getting crushed in game 10, 11, and they're 3-7, okay, I'll give him a couple games to see how he plays. But I don't want him to start because if he does not play well, mentally he'll be damaged.
Done.
I don't see that in Baker, though. He's a 2-time walk-on.
But he's had success everywhere he's been, walking on or not. He had tremendous success at Oklahoma. He hasn't failed. You're going to fail
I'm
in the
okay with
NFL.
him, but here's the thing, though. I'm okay with him failing. I just what my issue is I think there's certain things you don't get better at without doing them. Right?
But he can learn this offense inside out so that when he comes to his second year.
So you're okay with let's say they win 6 games, right?
It was worth it.
Which is generous, all right, considering they won none.
Then it was worth
last
it.
year.
6.
And he doesn't play all year. You're okay with him playing not all year?
Yeah.
The
If they can
Browns
get
are more
sick-
important than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
No! Baker Mayfield is the Browns. He's the number 1 overall pick.
not
He's
how it
supposed to be the
works.
future of
That's
the
not how it
franchise for the
works.
next 15 years.
And if-
Otherwise, you blew that pick.
He'll be that if he gets a chance to sit.
What if he struggles? Now you set your team back even more. Let him learn
He's
this
going to
offense.
struggle.
And Baker does. You said he's a winner. I watched the documentary. Shouts out Fox.
All the way up.
When he's forced into the game, that's when he produces. He takes the starting job. Everywhere he's been forced into the game and just not come off the field.
Okay,
But
fine.
Hugh Jackson wants to win games too. Like if
he wants to keep his job.
If Baker Mayfield takes him to 2-14 record, see you, Hugh. The next coach will reap the benefits
I know.
of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
So you got to look at it from Hugh's perspective too. Is I want to win these 6
I do,
games so
and
I can see how good Baker Mayfield is.
I totally agree. And I think that what Hugh is showing is that this wasn't his pick.
And if it was, it's like, listen, Tyrod Taylor can get me 6 games.
He would have
I
a
need
different
these 6
tone
games.
in everything that he's saying if Baker was his pick.
I think Tyrod Taylor was definitely his decision. Not so sure about Baker Mayfield being his decision.
You don't want to go out on the limb with that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll find out. Hard Knocks is tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll have you again on later in the season, for sure, if you had fun.
I'm always here whenever.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, because we have some other stories we need to get from you. You have great Bengals stories.
Yeah. We might need to do a Bengals bonus podcast.
Yes,
don't
yeah,
want
we
those.
might actually might. No, we do.
They
want
might
those.
think I'm lying.
We might just do it. That is. We'll call it the Bengals bonus podcast.
Maybe we lying.
Right.
Thanks, DJ.
Take care.
All right. Thank you to TJ. He was great.
Yes.
Appreciate him joining us. And now it's time for Win It or Quit It.
We going right into it? Mm-hmm. So the thing plays.
With
With it or quit it? With it? Quit it.
What?
With it.
We about to turn up in this bitch.
All right. What am I winning or quitting today?
LeBron stays making chicken salad out of chicken shit. Cleveland to winners, haters into disciples, racist takes into TV show titles. Shout out to Shut Up and Dribble, a docuseries LeBron executive produced for Showtime. Seems like a leader we can all believe in. Joy, LeBron for president 2024, with it or quit it?
I'm going to quit it on the president stuff.
Okay, yes, I know. It's
I know
fun to say.
It is fun to say.
Yes, it means something.
It does.
Yeah.
But Don Lemon asked LeBron if he was going to run for office, and he was very vague, which is smart.
Yeah.
Never speak in absolutes. You know, you may have to change your mind one day. As a woman, I know that that's something we do daily. So it helps if you leave the door a little open for the possibility of changing your mind. Also, when you pass 30, you change your mind quite often. Like, yeah, I'll totally be there.
Oh yeah.
Not going.
I've almost sent I'm not going text like 12 hours too early because I just know.
Yeah, I just say I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Which means no. Yeah. Anyway, I like what LeBron's doing. I know a lot of people are kind of surprised at this wave that LeBron is on right now. I'm not, because LeBron's always been involved in other business ventures and such outside of football. He was in a movie. If we all forgot about it, it's Trainwreck. I mean, not a blockbuster or anything, you know, not top 20 movie of all time, like Mission Impossible, no. According to Colin Kaepernick.
That's insane.
It is insane.
Did you actually go see that movie?
Yeah, I did go see Mission Impossible. I thought the preview looked good. Plus, Ving Rhames was very nice.
Yeah, Ving Rhames is great.
He actually convinced me that it was worth going to see.
It's
a very watchable movie, Mission Impossible.
I'm sure it is.
You know what it is? I'll tell you what happens. Tom Cruise saves the day.
Ooh,
he does lots of stunts.
Nice.
And it's very dramatic.
Can't wait to watch that on the plane one day.
Yeah, sorry for ruining it for you.
Yes.
Okay. But it's good. It's a good watch. Like, it's fine. You know what I did see this weekend? The Darkest Minds.
You can't. Oh, so is that like a Marvel? Like, it's a Fox thing, but it's
a
like
Fox
a
thing,
mutant
but
thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of X-Men-ish feel to it. But it was surprisingly good.
Yeah,
it was surprisingly good. And I didn't see any previews for it. So there you go. Good recommendation for you. Enjoy that. Anyway, back to LeBron.
Yes.
He came to the Lakers for a reason. This was all part of the master plan. Okay.
The moves are happening so fast, though.
They're happening fast because they were already happening.
I understand that, but you don't have
Look,
any...
I'm going to pull back the curtain, all right, of show business for you.
I know.
Stuff doesn't happen overnight. It takes months, sometimes years to put projects together. There's hundreds of people involved, and you got to get different things approved, and then you got to edit, all right? We don't even get this production out right away, okay?
No, we
and
don't.
Donnie does an amazing job, and it still takes hours of work, all right? Shout out. Amazing job. For real, but that's just not how things work. These things, I don't think this show just all of a sudden fell out of the sky. How long ago did she say that? This has been in the works since she said it. I guarantee you the next day they were like, holy shit, this shit is everywhere.
There's an Uber ride shortly afterwards. They talked about it.
Yes, it was done. This is just being put out now because he's here and there's the buzz is about.
Well, perfect example of that is when he sued Nick Saban for the barbershop show, and then within the last month, the barbershop show is released as like an actual show that's being rolled out. It's like,
how shocking.
Yeah, there's plans.
Because it was already recorded.
I know.
The only thing they were doing is post-production. I'm sorry.
I
know everyone doesn't understand, and that's fine. I'm not trying to be an elitist, condescending jerk right now, but that's just how it works.
It's the industry you work in as
well.
No,
but I'm explaining it. Like, this is how it works. Yes. None of this stuff just happened overnight. Now, what happened? Now, the next thing that happens next year, that probably happened when he got to LA. But what's happening now was already in the works.
Right.
None of this is going to have anything to do with how he plays. Okay, because this is already what LeBron does. It's already what he does.
He didn't do it in LA. I mean, he didn't do it in Cleveland. He couldn't do it in Cleveland. And as Colin brought it, like, Miami's different too. This is a whole new frontier, and I can't act as if this isn't something serious. We criticize professional athletes for being too much in commercials when they get really popular. I know LeBron can handle this. He has a team around him, but like, this is different, Joy. Like, he's doing like mogul, like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X type ish, and trying to win a championship at the same time.
Okay, fine, right? But I don't think LeBron really actually cares about winning a championship right now. So this is actually the year to do all of
so he's
this.
chilling this year.
Because there is no expectation of, if he wins a championship this year, everything stops.
He's not
right
gonna get past
now we don't know anything about sports.
Utah.
If he wins a championship this year,
right.
Okay. So there's no expectations for it.
Yeah.
This is the perfect year for him to do all this stuff. Now next year, after they don't win, maybe he'll cut back on some stuff and start focusing fully on basketball anymore. But LeBron deserves this year. He just carried a team to the finals.
Deserves a victory lap in his first season with the Lakers.
He deserves to just relax and enjoy himself and enjoy the fruits of his 15-year labor. You do have a hair actually hanging right there. There you go. Yeah,
okay,
it's very annoying that you can't find it. Yeah. Anyway, so. And on top of that, all of this talk about like him and Trump and,
right.
It wasn't unprovoked by Trump because, LeBron did answer the question about Trump if he would sit across from him, and he did call him a bum, and they've gone back and forth. And again, what it comes down to is Trump is the president of the country, and if you're okay with him sitting up at midnight tweeting about LeBron James, I mean, you really don't think we have some problems to solve. That's just all it is to it. Sorry, you just think that everything is perfect in this country. America has been made great again because our president has time to sit around at midnight tweeting to LeBron James. Okay? That's all there is to it.
She threw Mike in it. President low-key did the culture a solid by throwing Mike in it. We need to hear Mike. We need to hear from
Mike, and he forced his hand.
And that response was not good enough.
The response was not good enough. And
No.
I love you, Michael. I just wish you realize that Darnold, it cannot hurt you. We will always buy Jordans. We will always buy Jordans.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, that's what I'm most excited about.
We don't care about your basketball team.
Getting more money to buy more
Listen
Jordans.
to me. We don't care about your basketball team already, so that doesn't matter.
Nope.
And we will always buy Jordans. I was looking at some yesterday. I'm going to get some more. Okay? We will always do. I'm not wearing them today. I wear them often, but that's always going to happen. It's literally not going to hurt any of your sales. Right. For sure.
Okay, we're going to move to football. Odell Beckham Jr. is set to play on the last year of his rookie contract that pays him just under $8.5 million. The Giants value him just below Sammy Watkins' $16 million annual salary, but OBJ wants to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. Joy, Odell will start the season without a new contract. With it or quit it?
With it. They're not going to figure this out right now, I don't think. And, man, it's a good time to be a wide receiver, huh?
Inflation.
They're getting the bag.
It's
really a lot of money.
They always have, though, haven't they?
They're getting quarterback money, especially with the guaranteed dollars, which is good. I'm okay with it.
More guaranteed money is what we've been talking about.
The catch rule is going to change a lot of things.
Yeah.
The helmet rule, which I vehemently disagree with, is going to change a lot of things. And the Aaron Rodgers rule, which no one's talking about, which is what you can't fall on people now when you tackle them.
Yeah,
you're supposed to levitate.
Yes,
and then roll.
Yeah,
or something.
Lose intention during the act.
I don't know.
That's what you do. You're like.
I feel like you have to scoop them. Maybe they want you to fall on your back, hold them. If you were to slip with the baby, Is that what they want?
That's why I love being a defensive lineman. All I do is hug people and lay down. You know what I'm saying? I just take the hit
and fall,
wrap up, and
just fall.
Come on, we going down here real quick.
Yeah, just boom. Yeah. You know.
See you next
What'd you have
play.
for lunch, buddy?
Yeah.
while we're face mask to face mask, face mask to face mask.
That's hard to
But
say.
I do think that this is good for Odell because someone is going to pay him, even if the Giants don't. But I just feel like just pay him. Here's the thing. You have to kind of find a balance between winning and stars. When you have someone like Odell Beckham, who is a once-in-a-lifetime star, he is legitimately a crossover superstar. That's important to your team.
He's the culture's
He was the
NFL
biggest name
player.
on the team. Yes. And he was the biggest name on the team when he was injured. Not even playing a game. He was the biggest name on the team. And I get it. He does all the proposes to the net and so dramatic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe that a wide
Instagram's
receiver
favorite football player
would do something like that.
Yeah.
And he does one-handed catches and such. It's entertainment. This sports is entertainment.
He peed on the goalpost, or not goalpost, the little.
I love that.
touchdown.
Oh my God.
That. I like
oh my
that
God.
one.
I can't believe he pretended to pee.
Be
I've
a
never
dog.
peed in my life. Just it's a fact. Just if you didn't know.
like he acted like the thing that literally white women love more than anything else in the world. Dogs. Yeah, they made dogs. They gave equal rights to dogs. So why can't Odell Beckham just be a dog real quick?
I mean,
So
you're
that's not
asking the
celebration.
wrong person because the outrage over Odell pretending to pee on the fire hydrant was some of the funniest. It's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. You guys are dying to be outraged about something.
He has a penis. He pees.
Oh, okay. So
He pees.
I don't want to be the one to reveal this for you, even though earlier I was just joking.
What? About what?
Men aren't the only creatures that pee.
No, I know, but
or just male mammals.
But I think we're all on board of how we do it. We can do it outside a lot more than.
This got so weird. All right.
I mean, that's
anyway,
what I
just
do.
pay Odell.
Yeah, just pay him money.
Next.
To pee.
Next. If you pee in public a lot of places, you should stop doing that. If you get caught, it could be very bad for your future.
Possibly.
Just as a note.
Take the risk. Okay, moving on.
Don't.
Everyone's like dead in this room
Yeah.
right now. Dak Prescott has been criticized lately after his culturally insensitive comments about standing for that American song that everybody apparently cares about.
Right.
With Dez Bryant and Jason Witten gone, the pressure for Dak to improve on his third season is very, very real. Joy, Dak Prescott is still going to lead this Cowboys team to the playoffs. With it or quit it. Come on now. Think about it.
I don't know what to make of the Cowboys this year, so I'm going to go ahead and do that no prediction thingy on the Cowboys.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know they
so
still existed.
I'm not winning or quitting. I want the Cowboys to be interesting.
Yes.
I know that's not an option, but I'm just making it one today.
Yeah. Chill out, Ashley. We got it.
Yeah.
She's going to explain.
Ashley is our
Yeah.
resident Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
She gets very upset.
Dak in the sunken place.
Does Ashley get more upset over the Spurs or the Cowboys? I'm going to go Spurs.
Spurs, and she acts as if she cares about the Cowboys as much.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Not
Why don't you
great
care
at
about the
acting.
Cowboys?
Yeah, why don't you care about football?
Cowboys,
Why don't you care about
the
football?
Spurs will always be my first love.
She
Why?
don't care about football. Ashley doesn't care about football.
She doesn't know. Okay. Well,
Anyways.
anyway, so the Cowboys, the Cowboys aren't going to win the Super Bowl this year.
No, playoffs though.
They would if we had
come
Tony
on.
Romo.
Like,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
you can.
Don't make me start on Tony Romo. All right, we were rolling, and now
That's
we're
fair.
just getting completely derailed.
Can I say this though? It's not crazy to say that they won't make the playoffs. Like, think about
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't.
Whoa.
Here's the thing. Just okay. Just hold on. Here's the thing about Dak. First of all, I know everyone's saying he's in a sunken place, which I don't disagree with. Okay. I want to be kind to Dak. I want to be the person that's like, yeah, you can all have your own opinion,
Right.
And stick by your opinion, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have to agree.
Mhm.
All that
it's true.
bull.
I know
Okay,
that's
but
real.
it's-
That's
it-
real.
No, it's not.
It is real. We should not all agree on things.
No, we shouldn't all agree on things.
Right.
It'd be a very bad thing if we
Yes.
all agreed on things. It'd be a
Mhm.
very boring place.
Yes.
But there's some stuff that we know we all.
You should have better opinions
we
about.
have, yes. Look, it's okay to be wrong.
Yes.
All right. Sometimes it happens.
Mhm.
And I don't agree with what Dak said. And no matter what anyone says about him being a leader and him whatever, like Zeke, we're not even gonna get into Zeke's opinion about that. I'm off Zeke's opinions. All right. I don't need Zeke's hot takes on really anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll
Get the
get
mic
into
out of his
his.
face.
Yeah. Just who cares?
Yeah.
All right. Zeke has way more ground to make up to begin with. Dak
Right.
doesn't have any ground to make up. He's just repeating what the owner of his team wants him to say.
I know.
Okay? I'm done saying his owner. The owner of the team that he plays for is saying, okay? And I get it, all right? We all do the corporate thing
Yes.
every once in a while,
Got
okay?
to.
We do it pretty much every day of our lives,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
But this situation with him saying, football is a sanctuary and it's right time, right place. Like, I don't want to keep dredging all over that. I do think that his larger quote, when he was saying the point of it was to bring awareness
Right.
and the protests and all of that, and that's been accomplished, I do agree with.
Right.
I do agree with that. However, the reason I don't have any problem with people protesting now is because Trump won't shut the up about it. So what do you expect people to do? You keep being oppressive,
Yeah.
then we have no choice. You have no choice.
I mean,
you're literally telling people
leader
what
of the
they
free
have
world.
to do.
Yeah, telling people what they have to do.
And that's not how this works. That's actually not how this country works.
Not supposed to.
It's not supposed to,
No.
actually.
Yeah.
Right? So
And
it's just not the way it works.
I just
So
need him
people
to
like there's a mural
Yeah.
with Dak, and he's got the get out eyes. It's
Yes.
very clever.
I mean,
I'm gonna say it's very well done.
yeah, it was,
But as far as the Cowboys being good
Very
this
good.
year and Dak, like I don't know what to expect from Dak. He took a step back, if you will, or had a sophomore slump or whatever. But I don't think that was all Dak's fault. I think
Right, no.
Zeke's situation was a huge albatross
Messed all
over
of it up.
the team from camp on. You had him being forced to throw to Dez. Sean Lee's out. You got offensive linemen injured. The anthem stuff was going on last year, which caused controversy.
Yes.
So it's not like this is all Dak's fault, but Dak coming out and putting himself in that space. Well, now you're in that space now. So there's a certain half the country is
Yeah.
going to look at you like, okay, that's how you feel. You better play well. Sorry, that's just the climate that we're in.
yeah, no, I'm rooting for all melanin quarterbacks in the NFL. Of
course.
And I was as excited as I was for him that first year when he beat out Tony Romo. I want to
Right.
be that excited going to his third year. But if he starts
But he
saying,
took that away from me.
well, I'm saying if he continues this narrative and he starts saying more Kanye West-esque type of things, then America's team, I can't be like rooting
Look,
for him the way
it's
that I
hard.
am
It's a
now.
hard place to be in because I'm sure there are people who still who's still against police brutality and don't
they should be.
necessarily want to be involved in the protests, which
Right.
you don't. They're not mutually exclusive, and it's hard to be like, well, we want players and athletes to speak their mind, and then we crush them for speaking their mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's
know?
like
And
Bryce,
maybe this is truly what he believes.
Yeah, no,
but
that's on the table.
It puts everyone in a position where they have to pick a side.
Yeah, like Bryce Butler, which would end up being one of Dak's favorite targets last year because he was scrambling and moving around everywhere. I was talking to him about it, and he said, "Listen, like I want to speak out. I think I'm going to do it on my off time." He was on fringe of making a team next year. Like now he's with the Cardinals, but if he would have protested at that point in time during the year, he may have been out of the NFL at this point in time.
Yeah.
And that's losing millions of dollars for yourself.
It's forced everyone to make a choice. I just think it for a lot of people, it kind of feels like, that's just how it feels.
Yeah.
I don't know how to verbally explain that, but that's just when you read it, you're like,
Okay. Noted,
cool.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't get what I'm talking about, this ain't for you.
Yeah. But thanks for listening.
Yes.
Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack were two of the most electric defensive linemen last season. They're both currently holding out for new contracts, while Houston's J.J. Watt is ready to chop and screw the narrative that he's an injury-prone person. D lineman running the NFL headlines got me thinking one thing. Joy, the 2018 season will make defense great again. Wit it or quit it.
I'm going to wit it. Also, aren't you so glad that we disposed of chopped and screwed?
I mean, that like
I wanted to go away the second I heard it. I was like, ugh.
I did not like. I was like, I need to understand.
I do not like this.
Like,
Am I supposed to like this?
I understand. I was like, this may be good if I sip on the syrup, but there's no syrup available for me.
I don't want to sip on syrup.
And I don't want to sip on the syrup.
Right.
So like, I on albums, there's like an extra song, yes, but like releasing it only just chopped and screwed.
Album?
Like, A$AP Rocky did a really good job chopped and screwed. That's how he came out. I do like. I'm glad. Yes, I am very happy that's no longer.
Okay,
here.
yes, because I am too.
Yes,
and
yes.
I've been waiting a long time to say that.
Drop that.
No.
Something like that.
It wasn't good. It wasn't a good thing.
Shouts
It was
out
not
Houston.
enjoyable. Yes, sorry. I'm very into Deshaun Watson and JJ Watt.
Yes.
And I'm rooting for JJ Watt to get back to form.
Yes.
And Aaron Donald, I don't think he's going to get paid. It's looking very much like he's not going to get paid. And the situation with Khalil Mack is crazy too. Although Gruden's not wrong, they were not good last year.
I was like, I was like, I agree with Gruden.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't like this idea. I'm obviously a defensive person. Okay,
Yes.
I've spent a lot of time watching defense.
Yes.
For obvious reasons.
Yes. Some of the best.
Some
Some would say
of all time.
Some would say
Most would say of all time. It's been actually confirmed
Hall of
that it's of all
Famer?
time. Yes.
Yeah.
Some would say Hall of Famer is confirmed. First ballot, 'cause that matters. Anyway, just saying.
Does now.
The point is, I do think that defense is still very important. Now, do I think that defensive linemen are going to get paid consistently the way that quarterbacks or receivers are going to get paid? No, they're not. And sorry, but that's what it is.
Nor
And
should they.
I don't have any problem with anybody making a bunch of money because, like I said, it doesn't come
Yes.
out of my pocket if you make more money. It's not like, oh, do we pay Joy or we pay Khalil Mack? Well, in that case, I don't think Khalil Mack should get paid. But that's not how it works. So
Right.
Khalil Mack can make all the money once, and so can Aaron Donald, and anyone else is trying to get paid. I'm cool with it. But I do think that you need a good / great defense to win a championship. This idea that you don't need a superstar in your defense is just nonsense to me. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I understand it's trending offensively now, but if you look at
Defensive units are more important than defensive superstars.
sure,
Yo,
but
no,
but
not even sure. Yes. Look at it. This is a cohesive unit. You're talking about a side of the ball that if someone takes it upon themselves to make a play and then misses that play, they put all other 10 guys in jeopardy on defense. Like this is the unit we're talking about. It needs to flow like water.
Okay, but this argument that you can win a championship without a great defense is not,
Yeah, no,
is
that's-
not
yeah,
true.
that- yeah,
like
that-
even if
yeah.
you just look at the
That's
Super
not true.
Bowl, like
Yeah.
50 out of 52 Super Bowl champions have at least 30 sacks in a season. 50 out of 52. That's almost all for those
Yes.
counting. Okay,
Yes.
and the average NFL defensive ranking for a Super Bowl champion is 7th. Like you have to have a top defense in the league to win a championship. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's better to have an entire unit, but that takes time and a lot of genius to build.
Coaching.
And coaching, yes.
Yeah.
So I think this year with getting JJ Watt back, I think Aaron Donald's going to play out of his mind just to prove a point because he's going to be a free agent next year. I think all of this defensive dissing is going to get proven wrong this year. How you were on running backs last year,
Yes.
I think making defense great again is going to be this year. Thank you, Trump, for giving us something that we can interchangeably use with basically anything in life.
Let's be real.
Which should also tell you how easy
Decent
it is
slogan.
to mesmerize people with that ridiculous slogan.
Mesmerize people, yes.
He
Making
is good
things
for
great again.
He is good for slogans, though.
And
And there was a time when defense was great, right?
He's great on Twitter.
Because defense
Twitter's
wins championships.
Defense, yeah, I mean, yes. Always.
That's the thing.
That's why Von Miller is still
people
getting
used to
paid as much
say.
money as he's getting paid
Of
now.
course.
So, but I'm okay.
That's why they paid Darrell Revis every single time.
Yes, but Aaron Donald should be asked to get the highest paid interior D lineman to be the highest paid when Von Miller is making 19.5, who is somebody who usually has his hand not in the ground. Like Khalil Mack is another example. Like interior D linemen need to play differently, and the fact that they got Ndamukong Suh at all tells me that they're kind of lighting a fire / like seeing how much they actually need Aaron Donald for that defense. Like it's laid out now. It's crazy for Aaron Donald to put them in a position to have to pay him when you know they're paying everyone else.
No.
He's going to get
he
to the money.
deserves to get paid.
Yeah, but not
But I don't think he's going
20
to
million.
get paid. Yeah, he's not going to be paid the way that you pay quarterbacks. You just can't do it, especially because you're going to have to eventually pay Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And he is just more important to that franchise. He just is.
Jared McCoy was one of the highest paid players on that team for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after he got drafted, and the Buccaneers. Like, it's great having a good stout person in the middle, but that's not
the Buccaneers. Is all you need to say.
The Buccaneers.
Although I would say that the quarterback has a lot more to do.
Shouts
with
out
that
Gruden.
Yeah. Shout out Gruden. All right, time for Lit List. All right, so Hall of Fame was this weekend.
Yes.
There were some things that happened.
Yep.
Some were predictable, like T.O. not showing up since he said he wasn't going to.
Right.
What else happened? Some people cried, like I said, that they were going to.
What else happened?
What else happened? Let's see.
It was basically a church sermon.
They gave Ray Lewis a Britney Spears microphone. Which
he moves around a lot.
Which I have to know. Has it been reported whether that was a request or a suggestion by the Hall of Fame?
I don't even think we need to ask that question.
It was obviously requested.
He probably was telling them what he's going to do. He's like, I'm not going to do Ray Lewis's voice. Shouts out to Ray Lewis. Kind of. I mean, yes. But he was probably explaining that he was going to be working the stage, and like he requested a little hair mic. I don't approve of him telling the world he kisses his sons in the mouth still.
Who
I
cares?
didn't approve of it either.
I care because my dad, if it wasn't for me moving at the last second, he would still try to, because we are not little no more.
Who cares? It's your father.
What, huh?
He loves you.
Who they kissing on? I remember my mom told me in high school, she was like, by the way, no more kissing in the mouth. I don't know what little girls you kissing at school. And I said, you know what? That's fair. I've been waiting for this conversation with you.
That's okay, but like in that moment, it's not like that's not like that. It's so weird that people get bothered by this.
It's not bothered by it. I do think it's weird that people get bothered by it, but like that's in the house, that's family, that's like kind of a black thing. Time. It's like you don't talk like it's not a black thing. Tom Brady's kissing. It's an Android thing. So like anyways, you don't talk about that. That's family.
All right, whatever. I mean, you know what? I wish my daddy loved me that much. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so anyway.
That's a great point.
Ray Lewis did some preaching, okay, which we expected. He had a towel, and he did his dance. He did the squirrel dance. It was all
sweated out his suit.
Very surprising.
His brand new suit.
But it was, you know what? It was on brand, and I don't know why anyone was surprised by any of it except for the kissing part, which apparently bothers people. You know what? No one can love anymore. It's fine. Anyway, what I do want to shout out to is Randy Moss, because he wore a tie. He had a great speech. Great speech. He had Freddie Gray and Eric Garner and Tamir Rice and Walter Scott and Sandra Bland and other names on his tie, which I thought was a nice touch. And overall, I thought the weekend all the speeches were very good.
Yeah. And
I think it was very unfortunate T.O. wasn't there. And I think it's very ridiculous how the Hall of Fame is acting. But that's a whole other story.
I thought Brian Urlacher had one of the best speeches just because he was just being himself, kind of funny, just weird, goofy guy. He didn't make it about him, and that's the one thing I didn't like about Ray's speech. It was kind of the Ray Lewis show at the end. I mean,
it's his moment, like for show.
I know everyone has their moment, but his moment felt like he was the face of this induction class.
He was,
and you can't say that.
Yes, he was.
The other people are Brian Dawkins got in. Listen, Randy Moss got in.
Nobody else was going to give a speech that was going to trump Ray Lewis's speech. If you thought that, you were just being silly. Let's just keep it real for a second. All right.
I know.
For sure. By the way, I can't confirm this because I saw it in a meme and I like to double check things.
Talk to me.
But since I'm thinking of it now, can we do the research on Zach Thomas's numbers compared to Brian Urlacher? Because I saw a meme that was like almost comparable.
Joy?
So I think I have to start the Zach Thomas Hall of Fame
Are you
campaign.
you bringing up the Bash brother with you right now? With
Yeah,
your other
I
brother?
am.
The
I
Bash-
am though. Like I
Oh,
think I have to
thank
do
you.
it. But it was a meme. So I don't believe in getting my news from memes.
What's Zach Thomas up to?
Because they could be fake news. That's just a note for you.
Yes.
Anybody can make a meme. It doesn't have to be confirmed.
Yeah.
So just double check before you believe it. All right, moving on. For Lit List, I was right, because I usually am. And it's looking like Sam Darnold is going to be starting for the Jets, which is a huge shocker. Not really.
Josh McCown was really good last year. Teddy Bridgewater, proven starter in this league. Yes, that is surprising.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Like, I was.
Do you remember that video? Yeah, trick, yeah.
Yeah, but like I didn't do it on purpose, which is the craziest part.
It
like,
just came out?
Yeah, yes, it is, Joy. Sam Darnold threw like almost one of the. I was about to gut data fact. Threw the most interceptions in the college football last year. That didn't happen. I don't know who did that. But like he's out there loose and fast and loose. We're okay with that?
You're just saying things, okay?
Yeah.
You don't have any information in front of you at all as to whether that's true or not.
Sam Darnold is
Nobody
a gunslinger.
knows. No, he's a gunslinger.
You sit back down. You sit down and chill.
Fit 5 more cliches in describing Sam Darnold right now. Go.
The quiet leader? I don't know. That's a bad one.
No, it's good. It's good. Keep going.
A team guy. Just wants to win.
He's a gym rat. He's a gym rat.
Gym rat.
High motor.
Student of the game. Student of the game.
High motor.
Student of the game.
Guy.
Student of the game. Student of the game.
Oh, 6. Go on. We can get to 10. We can get to 10.
Okay, you ready?
You need 4 more.
You ready? You ready? 4 more?
Yeah, we're at 6. Go.
First one in the locker room, last one out.
3 more. 3 more.
I
believe in you.
Just high football IQ.
Yes.
Very
more.
coachable.
Rocket arm.
Yes.
Maybe.
One more.
The face of a franchise.
Huge.
I need to get on a game show.
That's why he's starting week 1, and that's why I'm right. And Todd Bowles says he's not making his announcement until week 1, and guess what? It's going to be Sam Darnold. So I am ahead of time announcing my rightness about it.
These are guys that played in the league, in the NFL as starters, won games, and you're just saying like it's.
No, I mean, because that's
Sam
not
Darnold.
why you draft a quarterback that high. I've been saying it all year. And finally on Lit List, football's back. Yay!
Ooh, if you couldn't
It
tell,
went so fast, didn't it? I feel like last season just ended. Listen,
was
football
bad.
football's fun, but football, I mean, I'm just going to say it because
You said football's
I'm being
fun,
an
but
elitist
what?
today.
Okay.
Football is an exhausting time for us.
it's grind time radio.
It's grind time.
It's grind time.
It's not a lot of family time. It's a
no.
lot of sitting in front of the TV and processing things.
Yep.
But it's back and we're excited.
Yes.
And we have some fun announcements coming for football season 2.
Yes.
I think.
No, we do.
We do. I haven't talked to Ariana yet.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
We're gonna have an announcement
Okay.
regardless.
Okay.
'Cause that's what we do.
Yeah, all right. So we'll
Announcements.
announce something.
Yes.
Either way. Loser power rankings. Loser power rankings. Loser of the week. First of all, you're a loser for not acknowledging how awesome my shirt is today.
Okay, and there's a reason behind that though. I still haven't seen the Rockies. I still haven't seen the
Yeah,
Rockies.
that's right. So you're double loser because you still haven't seen any of the Rocky movies.
But okay.
I think you get the gist of it.
Yes. Well, Women Weak and Legs is
Yes.
what is
Do you
on
know who
Joy's
this is?
shirt.
You thought it was an old
is that-
lady.
Is that like? Yeah, is that Putin?
Isn't it so embarrassing, Donnie? Donnie is over there belly laughing at
Who
how
is that?
embarrassing you
Wait a
are.
minute. Let me guess one more time. It looks like Miss Trunchbull from
Ooh,
yeah.
Shout out Miss Trunchbull.
Yeah, from Madeline.
So
Not the movie.
Not the movie. It's Matilda. Madeline is like a lovely cartoon about like a little girl running around
raincoats.
France, and like splashing in puddles. And Matilda is about a reform school where they force kids to eat cake.
Yeah, and Powers.
By the way, I'm watching not Bridesmaid's Tale. That's what Earl calls it. Handmaid's Tale, and it's incredibly depressing. All right, it's incredibly depressing, and I don't think I can keep watching it.
Earl calling it
It
Bridesmaid's
was
Tale
actually
is amazing.
because he hates it. He hates it.
It's must-see TV. You have to watch
It's
it.
not. It's very depressing.
I think it has the most Emmy
Right?
nominations.
It's so depressing. It's
Hey.
so fucking depressing, and there's no hope. Like, there's nothing good ever happens. One good thing happens every, 8 episodes.
Hey,
Wait till you watch the season 2 finale.
Ain't nobody watching season 1
my God.
finale.
You're gonna be
so listen,
Call
y'all
me.
come
You're
in.
gonna be
Am I
beside
going to be
yourself.
happy? Like, is anything happy going to happen?
DM me your
Nothing happy.
Hulu password. DM me your Hulu password if you're listening. Shouts out. I'll pick whatever one I want. Someone with live TV, preferably. Michelle and I need to check it out, see if we're going to cut the cord. Thank you. Maybe I'm crazy.
Anyway, I don't want to go on another tangent, but it's very depressing. It's sad, and I feel sad after watching it. Like, I don't feel like, whoa. I just feel like that was depressing.
It's sad being a
Are
bridesmaid.
you sad because it's sad or because it so accurately parallels what we're dealing with right now?
Yes, of course. It's fucking scary.
And it was written 50-something years ago.
It's very scary.
Everything's moving to Hulu?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, the whole reason I brought that up is because the Aunt Lydia reminds me of Trunchbull. Circle
Aunt
back.
Lydia.
Circle back.
Trunchbull. Circle back.
Anyway, this is Mickey.
Yes. Loser of Power Rankings.
Mick,
Yeah.
Cut me, Mick. Anyway. Yes, the actual losers besides you and Bridesmaids' Tales. Yeah. So the new Hall of Fame rule, allegedly. So there was a report that T.O. not showing up at the Hall of Fame. Now that the Hall of Fame is considering a requirement that candidates commit to showing up for the enshrinement ceremony before the selection committee makes its final choices. Here's the thing.
Petty.
First of all, it's past petty because petty, there's certain things that should be above petty, and Hall of Fames are one of those things. Now we all know the Baseball Hall of Fame is a joke. Okay, I'm here to say it. Don't care if you're mad. The writers make it about themselves every year. It is never about the people that get in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
It's always about the people that they keep out of the Hall of Fame.
Right,
it's elitist and it's a joke. And it is very exciting for the people that do get in after we get past all of the obsession that the writers have with their opportunity to choose who gets in these hallowed grounds.
That's what I'm saying. But Hall of Fames
They
in
should really
general,
make them all wear cloaks.
but Hall of Fames in general are basically
Like they're mystics or
but
something.
they're basically elitist. The whole thing is elitist.
It's so elitist.
They give you a cloak when you get into
No,
it.
it's not a cloak.
It might as well
It's
be.
a jacket.
It's just a time period. It's a time period. That was a Hall of Fame jacket was a cloak if it was in another century.
Jesus. Anyway, the point is, if they do this, it just further validates everything that T.O. is saying about it being about the system being messed up. Like whether they show up or not should have no bearing on whether they're a Hall of Famer or not. And for that matter, who cares? It's not about you. It's not about you, bro. It's not.
You
So
said it with
annoying.
TJ.
I
The
can't
system's messed up.
stand it.
Yeah,
like
what's up?
I can't stand when people make things that are not about them about them. It is not about you. It is about the person who contributed to the game that you cover. The reason that you have a job is because they play the game.
It's insane. Like the power that these men think they have, I'm assuming,
And women, whatever.
Yes.
The thing about it is it's
Yes.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
okay? And I don't agree with T.O. not going because it makes him seem like he's better than other Hall of Famers who had to wait, which is not true. You're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer. I don't care how long it took you to get in.
Right.
But don't make this rule. It's stupid. It's a ridiculous overreaction. It's stupid. It's stupid. Dumb. Stupid. Stupid. Don't do it. Next, Cam Newton Zealots. I'm done with these Cam Newton Zealots. Man, Cam Newton, if you love Cam Newton, you love Cam Newton, man. You cannot be talked off anything.
I thought I liked
If you say anything bad about Cam Newton,
Yeah.
I guarantee you I'm going to get tweets about just speaking Cam Newton's name. Anytime.
They that deep?
Anytime I
Mom?
say Cam Newton's name, you're such a hater. You don't even watch the Panthers. You don't know anything about football. Cam Newton's the best. He's very good. Cam Newton's a very good
I
quarterback.
mean, he won MVP at some point in time
He
in his
was
career.
an MVP. Cam Newton's very good.
Arguably, him winning it as early as he did ruined his career.
Look, there's a lot of things about Cam Newton that are great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things about Cam Newton that are very inconsistent. Okay. So it's okay. It's really all right to say that Cam Newton has some things he's going to work on. It's okay. Now, obviously, this is all pinned to recently Calvin Benjamin saying that he wished he played with somebody else,
Right.
which is okay for him to say also. If he feels like he actually played with Cam Newton. So
Yeah.
you're going to get mad at me. Like he's the one that said it.
Timing's everything, though.
What do you mean timing's everything? They play them this week. What's a better time?
I almost want him to take the Donald Trump model, tweet that late night, like away from things, like and let people talk
Here's a
about
motto
it.
I live by.
What?
If Donald Trump will do it, don't do it.
That's another way to look at it. You listening, Kanye?
That's just a healthy note.
Yeah.
In general, Cam Newton Zealots, you got to relax. It's really not that serious.
Yeah.
It's okay to criticize Cam Newton. It doesn't mean that I don't like him. I think he's great. I actually actively root for Cam Newton. I would love Cam Newton to win the Super Bowl and make it to the Hall of Fame and be wonderful. I don't think that's going to happen,
Stop
but
dabbing,
it's
but
really
yeah.
okay. Yeah, please stop dabbing.
Stop dabbing.
I think he did stop dabbing.
Yeah, he did, but like, just don't.
He
even,
is the
like,
one responsible for all these white people dabbing, though.
The kids love Cam. Kids love Cam.
I don't care about kids dabbing.
Yeah, you said that.
You do.
People are doing the thing that the kids are doing. That's why I blame Cam.
Anyway, okay. Finally, this Urban Meyer rally. Man.
Talk to him.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't care about getting Urban Meyer fired. I know that everyone says that. Here's the thing. In general, if you're not a weirdo, you're not really actually rooting for people to be fired. I don't root for people to be fired.
Right.
It doesn't serve me in any way if Urban Meyer is fired from Ohio State. I'm actually quite objective when it comes to college football. Okay, I like the Hurricanes. Even when the Hurricanes were bad, and Al Golden was a disaster. I wasn't even
really
for
bad.
him being fired,
Yeah.
and I thought he probably should be fired because he wasn't great. But he also was handicapped by the NCAA pretending like they were going to give sanctions to UM, which by the way they didn't. What happened with that? I don't know. Oh, they were paying people for information. Speaking of integrity. Anyway, the point is, I don't care. It doesn't affect me if Urban Meyer is fired from Ohio State. That's not the point. My issue with Urban Meyer in this whole situation is that you can't pull innocence when you knew he was doing this in 2009.
Yeah.
In Florida. You were at a whole different program. So this idea that you had no idea this was happening.
And that's your guy.
And then I have to break this all down because people get so confused. Okay. Right. I'm not blaming Urban Meyer for this woman being assaulted.
Right.
Okay. I'm blaming Urban Meyer for keeping someone who is an abuser of women on his coaching squad that are dealing with young men for this long, knowing what kind of person he was. That's the problem. Because what else is he excusing? What else is he ignoring? And even if this is the only thing, it's your responsibility to keep people with integrity on your staff when you're dealing with kids.
Exactly.
Like these are not professionals. They're not getting paid. Who you have around them matters. And if you're just going to enable people to do criminal activity, it's a crime.
Right.
You're going to send over his grandfather and your best friend to encourage his wife to drop charges. Yeah, you're responsible for this situation.
Yeah.
You're not the one who did it, but you are responsible. And yes, people are going to be angry with you.
Yeah.
So of course there's these people who are out there rallying for support for him, which is so college football.
It's just 100 people
it's
collected.
Just so college football.
Yes.
And I don't think it's a reflection of how all Ohio State fans feel. I'm sure they don't want Urban Meyer fired because he's a good coach and they're relevant and they want to win. But win at what cost? Like, he's not the best coach. Nick Saban's the best coach.
Debatable, yeah. I got
It's
you.
not debatable.
I know the wins and stuff. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that's what they play for.
Yeah,
They play to
I
win.
heard
That's
you.
why they're out there rallying.
Yeah, I hear
but the biggest loser in this situation is Ezekiel Elliott's father because, I mean, get out of – what are you doing? Like, have one drop of self-awareness. Please.
Get out of there,
like,
dude.
What are you – how did not anyone be like – whoa, like send him a text, bro. Like you do not need to go to this
dude's
rally.
Number. Yeah, like
I guarantee you got Urban's number. You got his email.
Man,
you got
I low
his
key am like
messenger.
I'm taking some heat.
You
I
got
put
his
on Zeke
address.
off because if that's what Pops is doing, like Zeke ain't making all the best decisions because he ain't seen all the best decisions be made. Clearly,
This is a terrible choice.
That's a bad
terrible
look.
choice. And I think that the NFL handled the situation with Ezekiel Elliott possibly the worst out of all the situations they've handled, minus Ray Rice, of course. So, don't even put me in that category.
Yeah.
But you got to have more self-awareness than to show up at a rally. First of all, anytime that you're attending a rally, I want you to stop and think about what is this rally for? Because rally is not a general term that is usually associated with positive things.
Or love. Yeah, it's just not a thing. There's no big rally for love.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of love rallies.
Not a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I'm not defending Urban Meyer, but Coach Alford is a running back coach for Ohio State. He's a great guy. I played with him at Notre Dame. One of the best coaches I've been around, and coaches are terrible people in general. So I don't want to say this is a blind spot because he knew
what
it.
Do you mean coaches are terrible people in general?
In college, they're terrible people.
Most college coaches are terrible people.
Yeah.
I think
fair to
you
say.
may have had a bad experience, but I'm not particularly comfortable with painting all college football coaches as bad
I'm
people.
perfectly fine with that narrative.
All right, that's
me.
that's it for you.
Yeah,
that was your experience.
Yeah.
I think it's irresponsible of Urban. I think he's pleading ignorant, which is ridiculously just. You can't expect anyone to believe that. And the bottom line is you already admitted that you knew about this going on in 2009. So either you have no idea how things work and you just expected him to have one drunken night where he throws his pregnant wife up against a wall, or you just walk around and have no idea what's going on with your program. Like this is one of the two, and neither one is acceptable
Should
because
be
you're
suspended for both.
responsible.
Yeah.
You're responsible for kids.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to pay them, then they're kids. That's what it is. So can't have both. All right, what's in the culture report this week?
Okay, well, Travis Scott dropped his third studio album, ASTROWORLD. Low-key, Kanye West pulled a talent of producers and talent friends of Travis Scott. Honestly, I'm going to run through this track list of features, and obviously it's going to be a banger album. Kid Cudi, Frank Ocean, Drake, Sway Lee, John Mayer, 2/3 of the Migos, I believe it was Offset and Quavo, Hit Boy, 21 Savage, Thundercat, Stevie Wonder was on the harmonica on Stop Being God, or Stop Trying to Be God. So a lot of mix. Basically what I'm saying is Travis Scott is who DJ Khaled wants to be. That's the take. That's the take from the album.
Oh.
He's just a collector of sounds and stuff and curation. He produces, he's songwriter. He's very talented. I don't think it's like rap per se, but it's good stuff.
Oh, it's good out of Travis Jenner.
Is that his name? Travis? Junior?
Jenner.
Oh. So slander. I thought you said Junior.
No.
Travis Jenner.
Yes. Yeah.
So slander is what you're going after. The haircut's got to go. Okay. Obviously, something happened while we were over the weekend. Madden, in their 2019 edition, omitted Colin Kaepernick from a song. It was Big Sean's verse. Shouts out to Detroit. And Big Bank, YG, 2 Chainz, a bunch of people
They
on that.
claimed it was like a glitch.
That was the part that really upset me. So here's the statement they put out. We made an unfortunate mistake with our Madden NFL soundtrack. Members of our team misunderstood the fact that while we don't have the rights to include Colin Kaepernick in the game, this doesn't affect the soundtrack. We messed up. The edit should never have happened. We will make it right with an update to Madden NFL 19 on August 6th. So it's been fixed to this day. Obviously, with albums, you can just change the things around.
Yeah, just so Madden makers, just so you know, pretty important to the culture, Madden. Like,
it's insane. They were now we're talking about.
Let me just take a step back,
Please.
The reason Madden is a thing, is because of the culture.
Oh, yeah, amen, man. Okay, and then people are talking about the culture of boycotting Madden, which I'm all for it because I bought the last one. I usually skip
I've been
one.
boycotting Madden since I was a child.
Yeah,
I have stuff to do.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Shots. And by the way, all the people that say #Rise and Grind, if you turn the video game console on during the day,
you are not grinding.
There's no way.
Yes.
No. Out the narrative. Anyways, Big Sean addressed the crowd talking about it. Moving on, Beyonce talked about her in her Vogue cover article. She mentioned her weight and the different struggles she had bringing the twins out. Said there was C-section. This is a part of Beyonce we haven't seen yet. Some transparency. I kind of love it, but also don't necessarily want to hear Beyonce speaking about how she knows that she's not like, the perfect weight and size. Like I'm done with the body thing. Like I thought Rihanna did this.
I mean, I just don't think that having a perfect body matters anymore.
No,
I don't. What is that still a thing?
Speaking about that, what are you doing with your time if you have that? Do you have a job as well?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the
difficult.
time to maintain it,
Right.
so I just don't get it. But it's not a thing anymore, really. Like you have kids, your body's gonna change. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and Beyonce has 3.
And the twins was on the last one. The twins.
There was 2 of them.
Yeah,
at the same time in the body.
Yes.
So it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
So if you have the expectations of Beyonce to look like what she did when she was 21, just get over yourself because we're not doing that.
Right.
Some people are doing that. They're called the Kardashians. The rest of us are, we're doing our own thing.
Yes, they're putting money
not
towards their
dissing
assets.
if you want to make body augmentations.
No,
it's not even augmentations. It's just augmentations.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm all for that. But I just it's okay if Beyonce adds a little extra. I like it.
Yeah, she got a little extra. Yeah, she's Beyonce.
I don't think you're ready for this jam.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you're ready
Yeah.
for this jam.
Yeah.
I don't think you're ready
Yeah.
for this. My body's
Kevin Hart.
for you, babe. That is very Kevin Hart.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah. Anyways, other people put out, YG put out an album, Larry Fisher and put out an album, Mac Miller. I haven't listened to them all yet.
All right,
Reports to come.
We'll get to them. All right, thanks for joining us today. Fun podcast. Thanks to TJ Houshmandzadeh for coming on with us. Football's back. preseason. Actually, very interesting preseason for the first time in a very long time. Because
Thursday's
we don't know
busy.
It is busy.
Yeah.
It's very busy. Make sure that you send in your hot takes,
Yes.
hot take-a-ritas. You can email them at micpodcast@fox.com and get featured on the podcast. We have a few we're going to pick from
Yes, ma'am.
and respond to. And make sure you follow us on all our social media handles at Maybe I'm Crazy Pod. And we have a couple big announcements coming up in the next couple weeks. So make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss out on any of those. And thanks, and we love you.
Bye.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.